I feel like people don't talk about it as much, that it's hard. How over the past years that as a student, I've learned how to take care of myself as well as balance my performance in school. Keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back. I think it's been officially 1 month since I started my grad school program in Harvard University. I feel like people don't talk about it as much, that it's hard. Like, you're facing a tremendous transition in your life, that you're moving from one city to another, that you're leaving your community that surrounded by people that you know and you care about behind, and you're moving to a new city where basically you don't know anybody and that you have never been, and you gotta figure it out, and at the same time you're starting school. All right, well, back to my channel. Hey there. We're gonna talk about something that people don't quite talk about that often, but I really think that's super important, is change. Well, one thing is, like, I feel like a lot of life is just unpredictable, right? It's like, I want something, but it never ended up exactly the way I wanted. But I'm also gonna do some of things on my makeup just because I certainly feel that when I am facing my love struggles, I mean, my first instinct is definitely not to, open my camera and then record myself and, talk to you guys about it. Like, I'm kind of an introvert person. When I'm facing my life struggles, I usually would prefer some, like, space and time just to reflect of what happened and what's going on with in my own space. Yeah, and I am filming this video today because I know it's about to get in September, that people are gonna start their school. I don't know, it's middle school, elementary, high school, college, grad school, doctoral degree, like, I don't know, wherever, but we are going into the opening of the school grand chapter for a lot of people. Whether you're returning to school, starting a new grade, going to a new district, even moving out of state like me, or traveling or moving, it's a lot of things that regards to schools. I think today we're just gonna talk about a few things that I noticed that can helpful with the transitions, especially for people who are a little bit anxious like me when interacting with a group of people that have no idea who they are, but I just know they're like really great, like like I have so much respect for them, and I don't want to humiliate myself in front of them, and I also don't want to make myself look any smaller. It's really smart to ask for help when you needed it. Now, I really don't think that asking for help is hold on. I really don't think that asking for help is a sign of weakness. On the contrary, the wise people ask for help when they need it the most, and they don't feel that they are being belittled, and they actually, by asking for help properly, by asking the right people for the right kind of help, they get to maximize and their lifetime and makes their time more effective and save their tons of hustles in general. So if you're thinking that, I kind of want to do this, but I would love a lot of help, but what if other people want this, want that, you never know. Just ask, and it might feel awkward to ask. I definitely sure felt very awkward before I decided to actually just take that step, take that leap, just to ask that question, because I really needed it, and I'm aware that my weakness and my strength, and I understand what's ahead of me, that a lot of help would be much appreciated than I did. And let me tell you, it's really helpful. It's really helpful to have somebody, doesn't matter if it's your family or friend, but please pick somebody accountable to help you move, to help you getting settled in a little bit. It will help you to, help you pick up the pace a little bit, get to know around in a new city. It doesn't have to be somebody who already know the area well. Just have somebody who is willing to explore the city with you. If you don't have anyone to ask for help, which is also okay. If you're those kind of people who are really not comfortable asking for help on this subject matter, knowing that there are tons of resources available for you, you know, for all of these school websites on their orientation, they will provide, there's like, if you're in need of furnitures, their WhatsApp groups or whatever kind of groups are selling second-handed furnitures where you can easily pick up for much more affordable prices. They're almost new, so I don't know what other parts of countries are doing, but check those out, knowing that we're all in this together, we got your back. So we started our August summer term about 3 weeks ago, and then we kind of have every single day class back to back for the past 2.5 weeks, and I think we're heading to the weekend now, so we have another week until we are over with the August term. Then we have a week until we get into the fall class, and it's a lot. It really is a lot. That I think. Another thing that this makes me think is you really need to find the balance between your school and life for those who are still students. There's a lot of things on the internet are talking about work-life balance, but it is like equally crucial if we as students, how do we balance our commitment to school as a student and us as a person? Most likely, if you're like me, who are still around their 20s, around their 20s, or I still don't know what I'm doing, but I don't think people know what they're doing until they're 35 or more. Anyways, but if you're like me, that when I'm in school, I just don't know where my goals are anymore, that the whole goal all of a sudden transitioned into catching up those deadlines, finishing up assignments, preparing for class, make sure that my next quiz doesn't fail, or catch up on the office hour, all of the students' commitment. That my old habit is to sacrifice my sleep. I just stopped caring about what I'm eating, and my social group, well, a big amount of time that I did spend with friends and my peers, because I'm participated in the clubs and student organizations, but still it was I don't think there's a balance over there. In another word, that I don't think I really take care of myself that well, the way that I would want it to, if I know better. One thing about school is it become very obvious, like everybody is there for one single reason, for school, for being and everybody's identity or have the biggest similarity as a student, as a titled student. So there's like a lot of explicit and implicit title and expectations that you're supposed to follow, like listen to teachers lecture in class, participated in group collaborations, and do your homework, do your readings, like all of that. As my experience, this might sound weird, but please hold on, let me finish, hear me out. I really think that in order to do it well and do it the way that you prefer that actually benefit you, both academically and mental health, emotionally, physically, is you actually zoom out a little bit. Look at your whole picture of what you're really trying to do here. Like, let's say you're really trying to get an A in this specific class, and then in this term you have a goal of attaining, let's say, like 3.8 GPA out of 4. So then you have to be very clear about that goal, and then you need to balance what you're actually delegating your time into. Please make sure you check your syllabus. Every teacher, every professor in college, and my teacher in high school did share the syllabus with us when I was in high school, so check the syllabus ahead of time. There are gonna be time when there's like just a lot of readings, like just like you just feel like it's overwhelming, and then you just feel like it's like not doable. A lot of time is there's like assignments and readings, and when professors or the instructor wasn't like very extremely clear about to what extent do you need to engage with the reading, be smart. Like, I'm not saying skip the reading and just like use AI or whatever. Like, please be very smart about where you're using your technology, but also be mindful that your energy span only allow you to do so much things. That you need to constantly select the information that you think is valuable to you, your personal understanding, your goal of taking this class, and balancing it with how much grades you are aiming for this semester. A lot of the professors would really outweigh the classroom performances, like the attendance and how active that you perform or speak during class, outweighing the assignments that you do after class. So again, the assignments and reading you're doing after class or prior to the class is to prepare you to better perform in class. And then I think the biggest confusion here is, well, what if I didn't have time to do my reading last night, that I just feeling under the weather, I didn't feel like reading, that I just have a horrible headache, do I still get into class? Absolutely yes. A lot of time is like the reading that you're reading, the reading that got assigned by your teacher or professor is to give you a background knowledge that to prepare you for the abstract that the teacher's going to talk about in the next lecture. Even if you didn't engage with the reading, like let's be honest with it, sure, you might not like comprehend certain concept as thoroughly as people like who really engage with the material, but if you still choose to go to class and you keep an open mind, that you are humble enough, you definitely can still learn a lot of stuff. But one thing that I would never want people to do is, some people just think, okay, I didn't do my reading, I have nothing to talk about with anybody else, and even if I go, I will be self-conscious, and they stop coming to class. You paid tuition, and I'm assuming it's not cheap, because tuition in this country, especially for college and private school, and for those people who are coming out of state for school, are not free. It's not cheap. You're paying a lot of money, okay? And for most cases, the interaction with people will help boost your social capacity, and it'll make you feel better, even if you're coming in that you're honest about that you didn't have time to go through the readings, but you can still learn something from what other people say, what other people's perspective of what they think about the readings. Even ask somebody that you're like besties to give you a summary about the readings, like right beforehand. So I just text them like, oh shit, I didn't do my readings, what did I talk about? And then, you know, have that kind of like companionship. But please go to class. Another thing I'm gonna say, it might become controversial, is that I really prioritize and make sure that I sleep the amount of time that my body needs. So like I go to bed before 11 every single day. Nothing can change that. And I'm by bed by around 10:30, 10:40-ish, and then I will read a few pages of book, and then I go to bed, and then in the morning I wake up around 7. So I got like a decent 8 hours of sleep. You know, your body do a lot of unconscious healing and fixing and detoxing for you while you're sleeping. Let's say that you're in a very stressful term, that, you know, your finals, or you're having some icky situations with people in your life, that you're just, you know, your body isn't doing so well, that you feel tired all the time. Those sleeping sessions will, you probably don't even feel it that much, but you're just go to sleep. Like, take your sleep, allow your body to heal itself, because your body wants to heal. And a lot of time, what I've heard and what I've seen around people in my life, in the society and online, is people feel like they don't want to go to sleep. They wanted to have their brain stay active so it can be initiated, or it can be agitated by social media, by all of those like short-term initiative of like some certain chemicals, hormones, arousal and dopamine rush. So they just keep scrolling. But for that, it has nothing good to do with your mental health, your physical health, your energy span. If you're in school, it's gonna be detrimental for your like ability to focus on material and critical thinking. And if you're going into more like intense study session or higher level of degree in education wise, like in your doctorate degree, in your master's, where a lot of it, it's not you're just reciting the information anymore. A lot of it, it's you need to rely on your own thinking and your prior knowledge of such let's say subject matter, and develop your own thinking. And if you are feeling very tired and you choose not to go to sleep, by keep scrolling your phone. There's scientific support results showing that keep scrolling your phone is decreasing people's ability to think analytically in the long term. And I also think it's a habit. Like, to be completely fair, I still scroll on my phone when my energy is low. I still do it sometimes when I have something to post, and I check my social media to catch up with my friends who lives in other states with me. But I would say let's just all start to be aware of this can be a habit, and we can change a habit intentionally for the better. So the next time you're checking your social media, or that you catch yourself can't stop scrolling, you say, whoa, hold on. Let's just put our phone away and let's go for a walk. Let's take a deep breath, stay in the moment, present moment, feel your body, feel your hands, and then find something that's actually meaningful for you to do. So much that people talk about is friends. I have to be completely honest, like, this is my 3rd, 4th week in Harvard, and I made some friends, but I also felt that there's this kind of like anxiety, anxiousness that I'm feeling. I went to an undergrad where there's almost nobody is like coming from the same country, speak the same language in my program or surround me. So I've actually kind of like conditioned myself into becoming more like ABC. It's a funny term that people call people who are American-born Chinese. So people thought that I am ABC, but in fact I'm not. So, but coming to Boston is like the population of Chinese people is just like tremendously huge compared to where I did my undergrad. And then that's like, my friend made up a very interesting term. Then they said, you're being reversely culture shocked. Well, okay, that's my first time hearing this term, but they're not wrong. I experienced my first culture shock when coming to US 5 years ago. And you know, the Eastern Western culture, my upbringing, it just doesn't match in a lot of ways. The bigger cultural value are different. But coming back to Boston, whilst I have already almost conditioned myself to fit into like assimilated with the bigger culture. Now I'm back with this another huge group of Chinese people who are just like me. I'm like, okay, what if people don't like me? Like, I start to feel self-conscious and a little bit inconfident, and I start to notice my intrusive thoughts are starting to raise, and I'm actually starting to give in for their thoughts. So I just wanted to say that if you're experiencing a similar situation, that is totally normal. In the meantime, I had to break things off with someone that I cared very much about just a few days ago. So I'm experiencing it, I'm feeling it, but I also just wanted to share with you guys that this experience is just, it's solid, it's valid, but it's also temporary. If you are feeling the weight of change that you don't know how to navigate, that you don't know if tomorrow is gonna look better, it's gonna look better because it have to, and it will, and it have to. I will give you an example. When at my lowest low, when I'm doubting myself if I can actually do this, if I could survive this and make it through, become a better version of myself, my answer towards those questions are always yes. Because I've known that I have been through the worst, that I have been through things that are bad, that are horrible, that things that I don't think anybody would deserve, that significantly just sad and bad or harmful for my mental health. And I went through all of that when I didn't know what I know now. Yeah, think about that. So I want to recognize, and I think you should too if you are feeling the weight of your life right now, to recognize that we've grown and we've learned, and there's a reason that we're here today. And you know what? Life doesn't bring us who we are now just to leave us where we are now. And you know what? We didn't come this far just to come this far. If this social group doesn't serve you, leave them. You will find a way better one. That only means that this frequency, this energy that you're receiving at the moment isn't meant for you. On the other hand, the universe has something else even bigger ready for you to claim. And all you need to do is you need to let go of what you're still hanging on to right now, so that your hands are not full anymore. So you can be ready to receive the gift that the universe has already prepared for you. And another thing is like, then why do we still feel miserable? Then why do we still feel so much pain and weight that like a lot of us feel like depressed? Like, why is that? If there's a bigger aim, why does the universe just show us already? The answer to that question really humbles me. Makes me know that there's so much I can do. There are 3 kind of categories for everything that happens in this world. The one is thing that you can control. The one is thing that other can control, but anybody other than you. The one that you would like them to control. So the thing that you can control, the things that other people can control. And I'm a firm believer that there's a bigger force than just you and I. There's something that the universe can control. If something is not meant for you, you will know. The universe will send some friction and resistance to show you that, okay, maybe let's take a step back and reflect to see if this is what you really want. Then if it is, then you had that opportunity to reflect. It helps to guide you more clarity. And if it's not, you also seize this chance to get closer where you really want and where your path is supposed to be. I just wanted to say that life is hard, and coming into a new chapter is so hard. But please remember your people, hold on to your people, give a lot of love if you can. Give it to anybody who are willing to receive, because the more you give, the more you receive. Let's check back in a month. So right now it's August 16th, and I will post another video on September 16th, and then we'll chat about how everybody else is doing. Because if you are feeling anxiety with school, if you are worrying about meeting new friends, getting back to your social group, or just academic worries, please feel free to leave a comment below. I would happy to see your comment, get back to you. Alright, I will see you all next month.